Okay, that's what I wanted to do. So, what we are, this is good actually that we don't have that many people. So we can make this very round table, very interactive. There's going to be questions. Let's have discussions. But what I want to talk to you about is we've been spending a lot of time talking about the upcoming changes in the real estate industry and what we have to do to be able to work with and go to market for buyers, given the new set of circumstances and rules that we're going to be dealing with. But there is a way to not have to deal with all that crap. And that way is to list more property and represent fewer buyers. Now, Steve's a little bitter right now, but he's going to, he still knows I'm right.
Yeah, well, I mean, my buyer took a year, so
Took a year. Took
a
a year.
year.
Yeah. So there's an old saying in real estate that's been around for longer than I have, and it says you've got to list to last. And what that's about is that when people were coming into the real estate industry and the real estate business, we're trying to convey to them that the real key to longevity is building a listing-based real estate business, because the listing-based real estate business brings other opportunities, right? It brings the opportunity for dual agency if you do dual agency. It brings the opportunity for other listings. It brings the opportunity for potential buying clients to buy other properties. It builds the pipeline. And successful listings are usually repeat customers for sure, right? So if you sell somebody's house and you do a really, really good job the first time, chances are really good that the first phone call that they make when they want to do it again is to you. If you bring it into our current environment, a listing agent does not have to deal with a buyer representation agreement. A listing agent does not have to deal with talking to a buyer about the fact that they may need to reach into their pocket or finance additional funds in order to pay their commission. A listing agent doesn't have to deal with any of that. A listing agent has a separate set of challenges that are definitely time consuming and are can be expensive, but at the end of the day, it is still easier, in my opinion, to list 5 properties in a year than to rep 5 buyers in a year. Any way you slice it, right? We'll sidetrack just for a minute, especially if you subscribe to the way that I list properties and you follow my program and my routine like I've been beating into poor Don over here for about the past hour. All right. If you do that, you know, most of your listings, not all, but most of your listings are going to sell fairly quickly. And you're going to be in and out of there and everybody's going to be happy. All right. Now, there are the people that don't listen to us. Okay. Steve has some, right? I have had 2 this year so far that don't listen to us. And that experience will make you want to rep buyers, right? If you have a listing that goes poorly or doesn't sell, or a listing with an unreasonable or unrealistic client, that client in and of itself will make you swear off listings for the rest of your life and say that you want to rep buyers forever. I need you to go ahead and resist that, because that pain fades just like anything else. All right. So I'm not saying either by any stretch of the imagination, hey, stop repping buyers right now. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. Buyers are an important part of any real estate business. There's a lot of positives and a lot of good, fun things about repping buyers, and you learn an awful lot by repping buyers. I think you always want to be repping buyers. I think you'll always be open to repping buyers. I think you'll always have a pool of buyers that you're working with. But what I'm talking about and wanting to shift your focus on is that no longer should you be advertising or marketing to rep buyers. Okay. As an industry, we have this thing called lead generation, right? All these different lead gen companies want to sell us leads, either as a brokerage, or as an agent. Right now, the three biggest buyer rep lead companies in existence are Zillow, Realtor.com, and Homes.com.
Just
Those are the
called
big
me.
three.
Realtor called me today.
They're all going to be calling all of you. Do you know why?
They need money.
Because suddenly they have all this market available to sell to agents. Because smart agents are saying, as this industry shifts, I can't rep buyers in the same way that I used to from these lead gen companies. Back in the day, I paid Zillow $10,000 a month, month after month after month after month after month. I couldn't give Zillow enough money because whatever I gave them came back to me in buyer transactions, and it was 100% return minimum. Minimum. Okay. So every time that Zillow opened up room in a zip code, I would buy it. I would absolutely buy it because I knew I was going to get paid. Because it worked like this. Somebody gets onto Zillow, looks at a house, they click the button that says, I want to talk to an agent, and my phone rings. Okay. I pick up the phone and I say, yep, I'll meet you there this afternoon, or I'll meet you there tomorrow morning. We'll get it done, and we'll buy a house. And you would do that. You would go get it done. You would show it. You would buy that house, or you would show them houses for the next few weeks, and you would buy a different house. Either way, it was fine. Zillow didn't charge a referral fee. It was just the purchase of the lead. And like I said, I could not give them enough money. If they called me and said, I need another $5,000 for you, we've got an opening, I'd say, just take it. Absolutely take it. What I didn't have to do, and what nobody had to do, and by the way, in between then and now, Zillow changed its matrix and it turned into garbage. But what I didn't have to do, and what nobody had to do, was worry about a buyer's representation agreement, worry about negotiating for a commission, none of those things, right? You could literally respond on the fly, go meet a client, write an offer, do whatever you had to do, and get paid and walk away. Done, done, done. Okay. Imagine the chaos that ensues now if somebody clicks the button, your phone rings, and the first thing you have to do, you can't just talk to them about what they want to talk about, which is seeing a house. You have to talk to them about a buyer's representation agreement and getting together for a consult meeting and all of that stuff. That online lead is going to think that you're crazy and go away. Right? So now all of a sudden, all these companies can't fill their lead gen pipes anymore. When we work with buyers in the future, it's going to be a referral or somebody that you meet. It's going to be a professional kind of a relationship. You're going to have a sit down. You're going to establish, a contractual situation. You're going to talk all that through, and it's going to be a good experience. But you can't market or pay for lead gen for that kind of situation anymore. So now your marketing and your prospecting has to shift to sellers. Fair warning, sellers take longer, okay? Which just means you have to start your prospecting sooner. When you talk about shifting your marketing and shifting what you're doing, we'll get into that a little bit more, but there's one thing a series of things you absolutely have to do before you start, okay? The first thing that anybody that you come in contact with to talk about selling a property for, or is interested in your services, the first thing that they're going to do, and they're never going to tell you this, is they're going to check you out online. Okay? They're going to Google your name. As soon as they Google your name, and I just talked to Dawn about this in detail, you've got about a 30-second window to either pass or fail. And it's just that simple. You're either going to pass or fail in 30 seconds. Okay? If they Google your name and a series of things come up and there's consistency involved in the results, and there's positive things involved in the results, you're going to pass. They're going to move on to the next round of questions. If they do that and they don't see that, or they see sporadic stuff with different company names, or they see no picture and they see the silhouette of a head, or they do any of those things, and when I say Google your name, they might Google your name on Google. They might Google it on Facebook. They might Google it on Instagram. Who knows where? They're going to search you. Okay. If you don't pass, you're done. It's over. Okay. So the first thing you have to do, if you haven't done it already, is to make sure that your profile, your online profile for all things online is set to consistency and set for success. Refer to the document that I shared with all of you called profile whatever, initial profile checklist, I think it was called. Do that. If you've done that, then you'll pass the 30-second test. You'll absolutely pass it. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you've got to lean heavy into and start farming and building your review platform because that's their next stop. Okay. Once they've determined that you're good online and that you're real, they're going to see what kind of reviews they can find on you. Okay. I use Reach 150, Zillow, and Realtor.com. Those are my 3 review spots. I don't care about Google reviews. Everybody says I should. I don't. I don't care about Yelp. Everybody says I should. I don't. Okay. If I did care about all of those things, I could spend my entire life working on reviews. 8 hours a day, all day long, I could work on reviews. I ain't got time for that. Right. I care about real estate related reviews in real estate related locations. That's what I think people want to know about me. They don't give a flying shit if I like a certain restaurant or whatever else, right? If they look at my Reach 150 page, they're going to see 30 or so 5-star reviews. If they look at my Zillow page, they're going to see 30 or so 5-star Zillow reviews. If they look at my Realtor.com page, same thing. When you go out farming your clients and asking for reviews, make sure you put in big, bold letters, please give me a 5-star review. I had a client that I worked my ass off for, gave me a 4-star review 2 weeks ago. It's not getting posted. Not doing it. Okay. It's 5 stars are done for me.
Did you ask him?
Her?
Her? What was the kicker for the 5th star?
Not yet. Not yet. I
You
probably
had to calm down first.
I gotta mellow out first. Yeah. I gotta mellow out first. I probably will see if I can get her to change it. But at this point in time, it's not getting posted. I'm not doing it. Here's the other reason I like Reach 150 a lot. Okay, I don't ask people to review me directly on Zillow or directly on Realtor.com anymore. I ask them to review me directly on Reach 150 because Reach 150 populates to all that shit, and I get to choose whether or not I post it. Okay, so if I don't like the 4-star review, I don't have to post it. But circling back to what we're talking about, you got to get your profiling done and you've got to get some kind of review base. You don't need 30, okay? No one's going to read all 30 of them. You probably need 5. But Damian, I'm new. I don't have anybody to review me or whatever else. I don't have any reviews. For crying out loud, get creative. Go to your family members that have a different last name and ask them to write you a review. Honey, are you camping? Let's go. Oh my God.
Dog had to go potty.
Did you lose the dog? Get somebody, get your family members with different last names, get your friends to write you review. Get 5 of them, post them online, have a review-based business. Okay? Those are the initial screens. Right? I like Don. I met him. I know he sells real estate. I like him. I Googled him. I see that he's real. I looked at some of his reviews. His reviews look good, look solid. Hey, Don made it through the first filter. Okay. You cannot be a listing agent or a listing-based agent if you don't have that done. You can't do it because remember, the perception of the public is that the listing agents, the agents that do a lot of listings are better. They're the better ones. Okay. So you have to appear online to be one of the better ones. If you don't, you're just wasting time. So dig in and get that done. Okay. Now let's get into the meat part of it.
Which was the one that you used, you said?
Reach 150. It's
Okay,
included. There's a tab for it in the NextHome intranet.
got it.
You got all that done. Okay. You have got to get really, really comfortable with some things. Okay. And these are not necessarily in order. All right. You've got to get really, really comfortable and be able to articulate your 3-minute listing pitch. It isn't necessarily a listing pitch, but it's a listing directed, self-qualifying pitch about what your listing system is, okay, and how generally you list property. But Damian, I don't have a lot of listings. I don't have that pitch. Yes, you do, because you are us, right? I use the word we a lot. You can use the word we a lot too. We list property in a very specific way. We do A, B, C, and D, right? We have systems there's another one. We have systems to promote your listing A, B, C, and D. I don't care if you haven't done a listing yet. We have. Okay. You lean into we. You've got to be able to clearly understand and articulate the national listing distribution system that NextHome provides because it's really good. Okay. How many of you know clearly and can articulate how our NLDS system works? Raise your hand if you just got it down cold. That's what I thought. You don't know. You have to understand that. Did you know that the moment that one of your listings hits the MLS, that the NextHome intranet is tied to your MLS and it grabs it and then it syndicates it to over 400 websites across the nation, including the biggest brokerage websites in the country, Remax, Coldwell Banker, C21, right? It backdoors in those websites. And so even though it's a Coldwell Banker exclusive listing, yours shows up. Did you know that? I love it when a Remax agent says, yeah, well, we've got the best listing advertisement in the industry. I know, they're right. They do. That's why we send our listings there through the back door. Isn't it great? Okay. You've got to understand that system cold because then you take all of your competitors, well, we've got the best tech, and you shit can it. It's no longer a talking point. Okay. Understand that system. You've got to understand and be able to articulate the value of staging. Who can understand and articulate the value of staging and the science of staging? I'm talking about sight lines, traffic flow, coordination. Understand it. Okay, you've got to understand what the value is because here's what people really think. I swear to God. They think we're lazy and we want to stage their property to make our job easy so we don't have to work hard to sell it. That's what they think. Okay. You have to be able to tell them why you stage, the science behind staging, why it's important. Okay. You have to be able to understand and articulate the value of media. Now, it doesn't matter because you pay for the media. All right. But you have to be able to talk about why it's important. Okay. I'll give you a little nutshell of it. Staging and media. Okay. I know you don't want to stage your house. I know that it's an expense that you weren't counting on. I completely understand that. You need to understand that 98% of the people that buy a home start their search online with a handheld, whether it's an iPhone or an iPad, it is online with a handheld. Within that handheld, they no longer care about the still photos. They care about the video and they care about the 3D tour or the Matterport tour. The 3D tour and the Matterport tour is the 360-degree photography function that allows someone to scroll through the house, look up, down, all the way around, sideways, all throughout the house. When they do that, a staged house, and I mean a staged house with every single room stage, shows perfectly. Okay? It shows absolutely perfectly and seamlessly. 98% of the people that are going to buy your house have already decided to buy their house before they ever visit it. They make that decision based on what they do online. This is scientifically proven data fact. They only visit your house to confirm that the physical house matches what they saw online. So if we miss it online, if we miss it with staging, or we miss it with less than perfect photography and media, we lose that opportunity. Is that a risk that you're willing to take? That's what I mean about articulating the value of those things and understanding why they're important. Okay? Nobody, not nobody, most people will not be able to say that. They'll say, well, we have to have this kind of photography because it looks really good. We have to have this kind of staging because it looks really good. And nobody cares. But when you can explain to them why something is important and why they should be spending their money, everybody cares. Okay? You've got to understand and be able to articulate pricing. And when I say pricing, I mean my kind of pricing. Okay? It's the toughest part of the job. The most objections you'll ever receive. No one will ever agree with you, but you've got to be able to understand and articulate it and why it's important and what it does and what it yields. And most importantly, what will happen if they don't do it. You got to be able to demonstrate that with past results, even if they're not your results, past results from listings within this office, which you can do. You'll be able to do that. Okay. You've got to be able to understand it, articulate it, and deliver it with no hiccups, no no anything. Just deliver it cold. Okay. Let's switch gears. You know about all that. Your profile is secure. Your reviews are set. You understand those 4 talking points that I've told you you have to understand cold. You're comfortable delivering it to anybody at any place at any time. You have a high level of confidence to doing it, and now you're ready to go market. You're ready to go market. Whether that's publication, whether that's electronic, whether it's social media, whether it's door hangers, whatever it is, any of the marketing that you do moving forward will be listing based. It could be listing based. Hey, I'm looking for listings. I've done these kinds of listings. I want more. It could be listing based educational. Do you know the value of staging? Do you know what the market data for sales in our area are? Do you know what the average price for sales in our area are? Do you know what the average number of days of market are in our area are? Do you know which houses in our area aren't selling? And can I explain to you why? Okay. It's all listing based. Your sphere marketing, your emails, all that, it's listing based. It's listing centered. You're talking about listings. You're talking about the data associated with listings. You're talking about the practice of listings. And what you're driving into their brain is what? Somebody tell me what you're driving into their brain. Somebody means somebody in a square other than me. Who is it? Nobody wants to guess. This guy lists property. He knows what he's doing. He lists property. You're talking the talk.
Sounds like you do it on purpose.
Hmm?
Sounds like you do it on purpose.
Yeah, sounds like that.
This
Yeah,
property on purpose.
yeah, sounds like that. Right? You're establishing yourself as an expert. for listings. You're establishing yourself as a market authority for listings. If you don't think you're an expert, who the hell is going to? Right? I know what you're thinking. I don't want to put it out there because I don't want any blowback. Do you really think that anybody's going to call you and say, you know what, you're full of shit? You're so full of it. You don't know what you're doing. Not going to happen. I mean, there might be some people that think you don't know what you're doing. They're just not going to call you to list their house. Okay. But nobody's going to call you or call you out or put you on blast and say, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're doing. This isn't high school. Okay. This isn't, you're standing in class and you give the wrong answer and everybody laughs at you. Okay. That's not what this is. Okay. None of us are that important. We're really not. Okay. But everything that you're doing is designed, and the thought process behind everything that you do is I'm going to establish myself as an authority on listing property and an authority on market conditions. Everything that you do. But Damian, I want to talk about buyers. Great. Go ahead. If you want to do that in addition to everything else you're doing, knock yourself out. Okay? You know what I put in my buyer posts? Call me to list your property. Yep. You know what I'm going to do on the houses that I sold to buyers? There's 2 of them recently that I sold to buyers. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send just sold postcards throughout the whole neighborhood that make it appear that I was the listing agent. I'm not going to lie. I did sell the house. You think they're going to double check on Zillow to see if I listed it or if I was buyers? I sold the damn thing. I can say just sold in your neighborhood, can I? I can say how much I sold it for, can I? I can say how many days it was on the market, can I? I can say, call me to talk about how our listing system can help you sell your property too, can I? I never said I was a listing agent. It's implied. Do you think anybody's going to blow up? Do you think the listing agent on those houses might get mad? No? You want to know why? They don't live in that neighborhood. They're not getting a postcard. Okay? Establish yourself as an expert. When you go out hunting, and what I mean is you're out hunting for business. What kind of business are you hunting for? What kind of business are you trying to farm? You're trying to farm listing business. You are a listing agent. Now, if a buyer comes up in that farming or that hunting along the way, great. Okay, great. Here's how it usually goes. Oh, you're a listing agent? Yeah. You list a lot of property? Sure do. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we've been trying to buy a house. I'd love to help you. Then nobody knows more about buying listings than somebody that lists a bunch of them. I can give you the inside scoop. It's a hell of a lot better and saves a whole lot of questions with buyers than, well, I'm a buyer's agent. Yeah, well, how many buyers have you repped? Who wants to answer that one tomorrow? Right? How many listings have you done, Michael? How many listings you done?
We've done a bunch.
Yeah. My office has listed 30 properties in the past 2 years. Right? My office. Do they know that Michael, I mean, when Michael says my office, what do they assume? They assume, oh shit, this guy's huge. He's got a staff. He's got his own office. Great. Great. I don't care. Any of my listings that I've done, please take them and say that you did them. I don't care. I really don't. Okay. I did it. You did it. That's all there is to it. Okay. Now, come on. Questions? Challenge me. Tell me I'm wrong. Anybody want to take me on? I'm game. Let's go. Think about what you're doing now or what you're not doing now. Think about what I've just told you. What are your roadblocks? What are your stumbling blocks? What are you worried about? What are you concerned about? Hit me. If you can't tell me, you can't tell them. I swear to God. You can't. Don's thinking hard. He's like, I have been listening to this SOP for 2 hours and I am done.
Nap time yet?
I'm so done with this shit. I am done. He's been like this for 2 hours. Nobody? Steve? I know you and I have had our bitch sessions today too. Steve's had about, this is hour 2 for Steve for me too. That's why he's in bed. He's like, done. Yep. Michael?
And I don't even know what I don't know.
Well, that's okay. Tell me, Michael. I'm going to pick on Michael.
Do.
Okay. After this meeting, what are you going to do tomorrow?
Today, I'm gonna get some Reach 150 reviews on there. I got 0. I have it turned off because it's blank.
Yes. Get your reviews. Absolutely. Yes.
That's
yes,
the next
yes,
step
yes.
for sure.
Let me talk about Reach 150 for some of the veterans. You can take your existing reviews and manually enter them into Reach 150. That is allowed. You can do that. So if you've got reviews and you just want to grab them and copy them and put them in Reach 150, that's okay to do. You can do that. Okay. Steve, what are you going to do after today's meeting? What are you going to do tomorrow that you're not doing today? And I know you got all kinds of experience and you got a lot of stuff going on. Is there anything that you're going to do differently tomorrow?
Do differently tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm gonna wake up on the right side of the bed, damn it.
You're starting to sound like Hardy. You woke up on the wrong side of the bed, truck
Change
bed.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do the Reach 150 thing too. So, and because I don't think I've got any reviews on there, and like you said, if somebody pulls up and sees 0, that's not a good thing.
Not a good look. Yeah, not a good look. Yep.
It's with the one here in Foothill Farms. I can't wait to see the review she puts up. She's just gonna, hopefully she knocks it out of the park because she's ecstatic.
Boy, she sure should with everything you've done to get that thing ready to go. Tell you
Oh
what.
my God. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Jess, what are you doing differently tomorrow after today's meeting?
Okay, no, like I just need to, it sounds like confidence is a really big deal, right? Based on what
Yeah.
everything you just said. And then, so I'm thinking I need to work on this like selling myself 3-minute thing, like being confident and talking about staging and photos and all of that, like you were talking about when I was on my hike. So I think I'm going to work on the 3-minute thing and the confidence and making it sure I sound like I know what the heck I'm talking about at least.
How are you going to develop the pitch and the confidence in the pitch?
Yeah, I have to say it a lot over and over and over, and then I know it'll feel natural.
I know somebody that you can practice with that's going to be pretty tough.
Ugh.
All right, Don. Oh boy, I'm going to mute mine. Don,
They can probably hear me through
can you
yours,
guys
right?
hear Don through mine?
Can you hear me okay?
All right, Don, what are you going to do different?
Well, I haven't been on Facebook since 2016.
Oh.
So
Wow.
I have to update my online profile quite a bit, I think.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, you got some work to do on that.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know, that's the most important thing is your online profiling. Okay. What do people see when they Google you? All right. By the way, when they Google you, one of the things that will come up if there's data in it is your Reach 150 page. Okay. All right. We good? 45. Right on it. Hello, Harley. Hi, good boy. Okay, guys.
That was a unique name, huh?
Yeah, took some real thinking, Steve.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Jesus, criminy.
Spent a lot of time on it, pal.
You know, I bet you did. You call the dog Harley, and every other dog's gonna come running too.
Not in my neighborhood, but yeah. 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 I know, but you know, creativity is just not one of my strong points. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I'm a script guy.
Yeah.
Well, all right, folks.
Have it-
It's good seeing you. If there's not any more questions, I'm going to press the button.
Do it. Do it. Push it.
All right, get that shit done. I'll see you later.